comes from the root of dabara in Arabic. And so, because Sister Ram is recording, let's listen to Surah Qad and inshallah I'll explain about it. Bismillah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
صدق الله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Inshallah, we study Surah Qadr today, but at the start, I explained briefly about what is tadabbur and what's our approach towards Quran in tadabbur. And tadabbur is different from tafsir. Okay, tadabbur comes from dabara. The root in Arabic, the root of tadabbur is dabara. Dabara means if things comes after another thing, or for example, sentence after another sentence, whatever. It's one another after. And we know that in Arabic, when the root of the words, when they get different shapes, their meaning is different. So we have got this in Arabic language that, for example, if we say ta'aleem, it means teaching, then it comes from the root of ayn lam mim ilm or alama. But when it comes to the shape of ta'allum, it means learning. So we have got this beauty in Arabic that the grammar is so complete that when it comes to different weights of words or different shape of words, in Arabic we say bab or wazn, they get different meanings. So dabara, one coming after another. Tadbir, when we say tadbir, means that we put one after another. So when Allah did tadbir in Quran, it means that Allah put every word after another word, and they became a sentence, and then one sentence after another sentence. It became word after a word. It became an ayat, for example, or different sentence became shaped an ayat, and then ayats after ayats they shaped the surah. So Allah has done tadbir, has put one after another. And He has ordered, His command is to tadabbur in Quran. In different ayats of Quran, we have أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ أو لِيَتَدَبَّرُوا okay, في Quran. So it means that Allah in different ayats has ordered us to do tadabbur. Tadabbur means understanding these items one after another. So you see how we came from dabara, tadbir, and tadabbur. And then what it's a very interesting subject I was studying, because I had to explain tadabbur in another group. Then I had to study about it more. I found that for example, in Khutbah Qadir, Prophet, when he wanted to introduce Imam Ali alayhi salam as his replacement, what we have heard from Khutbah Qadir, Sermon of Qadir, is that Man kuntu mawla fahaza aliyun mawla. We have heard this part everywhere, and we all know about it. What interesting thing was that before this sentence, Prophet had ordered everybody to do tadabbur in Quran, and then he had explained that you need to, all people, you should do tadabbur in Quran and understand it, and then you need somebody to tabyin, to explain the details for you. And the only people who they can explain the Quran in details for you are me and my Ahl al-Bayt. And then he introduced Imam Ali alayhi salam, that he is the one he will introduce, he will explain Quran in details with you. So the interesting point was that before introducing Imam Ali, he ordered people that you have to. It was not. It was a must that you should do tadabbur in Quran and understand it. Okay? And then uh, you become when you came to this, you reach this level, you will become a student. You will become a student for the school of Ahl al-Bayt, for the madrasa of Ahl al-Bayt. So tadabbur is the first level of understanding of Quran, by understanding word after another, ayats after another. And I have explained before. For example, now I'm talking, and I put word after word, and then sentence after sentence. So what I'm doing now is tadbir. I'm putting word another word, although my English is not good, but I'm trying my best. So then sentence after sentence, and you understand it. The way you understand what I'm saying, it means that you are doing tadabbur. That is a process of tadabbur. But then another question comes in, that why when we recite, when we listen to somebody, we can do tadabbur at the same time. But when we start, when for example we recite Quran, we can't. Okay, because we have got three obstacles in that, because our language is different, and timing of the revelation of Quran is different, and it was not reciting directly to us by prophet. So we have got these obstacles, but it doesn't mean that our duty is not doing tadabbur. It's just a little bit more difficult for us. For example, there is an example that when you are thirsty, sometimes you have got a glass of water ready next to you, you can drink it. Sometimes you have, for example, go and buy water, or sometimes in a, for example, desert, you need to dig a well to gain water, to reach water. So the difficulties are different, and Allah rewards every person according to his um, hard work. How much we do hard work on something, we get more reward. So when, if Quran is Arabic, is not it was not revealed at the same time as our time. Yes, it is more difficult for us, but it doesn't mean that we don't. This duty is removed from us. No, we have got the duty, because Quran is for all the times and all the people. This is just a brief explanation about tadabbur. Okay, about Surah Qad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر. We said that inna is for emphasizing in Arabic. Inna anzalnahu, and in and na it we. Verily we revealed, anzalnahu revealed the Quran in the night of Qadr. Okay, we don't have the word of Quran in this ayat, but because what was revealed by Allah, what is Quran? So we automatically we know that this is clear that it means Quran. Verily we revealed Quran in the night of Qadr. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. And what will make you know what the night of Qadr is? Allah wants to tell us that the night of Qadr, you can't understand how important it is. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. The night of Qadr is better than 1,000 months. So these two ayats, ayat number 2 and ayat number 3, wants to tell us that how valuable and how important is night of Qadr. So it's not that when Allah is saying it's better than 1,000 months, it's exactly same. thousand, we count thousand, but it means that Allah was by this phrase 1,000 months tell us how important it is. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. On the night of Qadr, on this night, the angels, ملائكة والروح, and spirit soul descend by the permission بإذن ربهم, by the permission of their Rabb, of their Lord, من كل أمر, for every affair, upon every command. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. And this night is all peace until the appearance of dawn, if until the morning, until the sunrise. Okay, so Allah said that okay, I verily will reveal Quran in the night of Qadr. Then there are two points of view that some people say that the whole Quran was revealed at once, and then some people say there were two types of revelation. Once whole Quran was revealed, and then step by step. And based on the research, what the result is that yes, Quran was revealed all together, but not by the sentences we have, by the ayats and surah. Like it was the spirit of Quran was revealed all together, and then the sentences, the ayats and surahs was step by step based on the situation. For example, based on what happened during Prophet time, it happened step by it was revealed step by step. But this theory is, we can discuss a lot about it, and this is not part of our course, Tadabbur course. This is very, if you want to study more about this, the way Quran was revealed all together or ayat by ayat, and that is another very complicated subject, and it has got its own course to study about it. It is not part of our discussion today. And then so Allah is saying that إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. And the importance of night of Qadr. But what's important we want to discuss today is تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. What does this mean? Okay, malaika, we know it means angels. And then what is ruh here? تنزل الملائكة والروح. I want to refer you to two more ayats. One from Surah Isra, ayat number 85, and one from Surah Yasin, ayat number 82. In Surah Yasin, ayat number 85, Allah is saying, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. They ask you about the soul, about the ruh, about the spirit. All say to them, قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. Say the soul or spirit is from the commands of my Rabb, of my Lord. Is from the affair of my Lord. So it means that by reciting this ayat and what Allah explains about ruh, that قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي, we can understand that ruh, but again, subject of ruh and soul and spirit, again, is another very complicated subject, which there are lots of discussions about it. You can study hours and hours about it, different subjects, and it's very wide subject. But what we want to learn in Surah Qadr, we go just through the first level of understanding of what is ruh by the help of ayats of Quran itself. As I explained, that the tadabbur is different from tafsir. When we learn the first level of understanding by the word of ayat itself, then The next step after tadabbur is that we can study tafsir, and we can understand more and more about it. Or we can go parallel. I don't want to say that we shouldn't study tafsir first. No, as I said, you can study different tafsirs. You can. On what I'm explaining is about this course and what we are going through in this class is that we just go through the first level of understanding of Quran by words of and by ayats of Quran itself. So if it comes to, for example, subject of ruh and soul, we don't want to go deep to what is it, just by the help of ayat. So Allah is saying, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. It means that soul is from commands of my, tell them that the soul is from the commands of my Lord. So when it comes to Surah Qadr, that تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ, it means that every angel, if we put these together, it means that every angel, Allah gives them an order, a command. So ruh is, in fact, is a command Allah gives to every angel. And again, I refer you to another ayat, Surah Yasin, ayat 8, number 82. إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَنْ يَقُولَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. Again, here Allah is talking about إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا, His command. And the way I translate this ayat, it is I want you to consider it clearly, precisely, because there are different translation for this ayat. But the most precise translation is this. First, I have explained before, when we have got innama, it limits the subject. Which part of the subject? The last part of the sentence. So it means innama, it makes it like only and only and only. Okay? So one point is this, and then amruhu, his command, iza arada shay'an, when he intends anything, because we said innama makes only and only at the last part of the sentence. It means this only in translation comes before the last part of the ayat. أن يقول له كن فيكون. It means only and only he needs to say to it be, and it is. Kun, kun means be. Be in a way that be, you know, when you want to say something exists. Okay, be there means that. Kun, be, exist, fayakun. And it is, and it happens. It will be existed. You know what I want to say? It means that when Allah's command is like this, amruhu. How is Allah's command? His command, when he intends anything, is only and only to say to it be, and it is. It means, for example, when we decide to do something, we need some tools for it, time for it, work on it, and this. But for Allah, it's not like that. It's just to say be, and it is. The command of Allah is like this. So when it comes to the ruh, it looks like if we put these three ayats together again, تنزل الملائكة والروح, and then ويسألونك عن الروح قل الروح من أمر ربي. And then when it comes to this ayat of Surah Yasin, إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. These all together, it looks like that. Ruh is one kun fayakun. Why? Because ruh is min amra rabbi, is on the commands of Allah, and commands of Allah, how it is that just say to it be, and it is. So they say that it looks like ruh, every ruh is one of Allah's kun. When Allah says kun, be, it looks like that. So when we say تنزل الملائكة والروح, it means that the angels, Allah gives them different cons, okay? Allah gives as as different souls that go and do this, your mission. So let me explain it more, because I know that this is confusing. You know, every angel has got a mission. And what are these missions? Those ruh. And what are these rules and missions? They are kun ilahi. It means that when Allah says kun, fayakun. Okay? It's like this. So when we say tanazzalul malaikatu war ruh, it looks like that these all the angels at the night in the night of Qadr, they have got these commands of Allah with them, or Allah has given them these commands, so they come down بإذن ربهم, with the permission of Allah, من كل أمر. And in every command we can think about it, from the smallest things in the world to the most huge things, and which is supposed to happen. About, for example, one leaf of a tree, or about life of mankind, and all this. So, and then when we say Laylat al-Qadr, Qadr means, in fact, in many translations, they have translated it as measuring and defining measure for something, and all this, or taqdir is defining measure, which is right. But in fact, Qadara comes from Qudrat, is a power, okay, power of Allah. And when we say uh, taqdir, it means that the power of Allah implements towards everything. And when we say Laylatul Qadr, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ, okay, it means Laylatul Qadr is that the night which Allah's power implements in all over the world, or all at once. What happens? Then Allah, according we had in Surah A'la, وَالَّذِي قَدَّرَ فَهَدَى. That there we explain that Allah is the one who implemented His power towards everything and guided them. Okay, what does it mean? It means that Allah implements His power in everything and then defines limit for them. Limit of what? Limit of ability, limit of capacity. For example, the capacity of, there we learned about, for example, we studied about grass, that grass has got a limitation capacity of life or ability in life. Mankind has got a different capacity and different capability and ability in life. This is what Allah defines for everything. It means that qaddara. So when we say night of Qadr, it means that Allah implements His power in the world and defines limits for the ability of everything. So then again, this question comes in mind that, okay, if the night of Qadr is the night of that Allah implements His power, does it mean that other times power of Allah is doing nothing and Allah doesn't implement His power? No, it doesn't mean that, because whatever Allah sends, and every con Allah says, and every angel comes through with a ruh and with a command of Allah, it's not just 1 hour, 2 hours. It will flow for all the rest of the world, the rest of the time in the world. It will be in the world. Like a baby, for example, comes from when Allah creates a baby from a clot, and then how He guides him, the clot, to become a baby and then adult. And I want to say, it doesn't, when we say night of Qadr is the night of implementation, that Allah implements His power in all over the world, doesn't mean other nights there is no power of Allah. No. But night of Qadr is a specific night that Allah defines the limit for every existence, ability, according to their ability and capacity. That's why we say that night of Qadr is important, because, for example, Allah plans our life for 1 year. Okay, this is going to happen for you, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. That is why night of Qadr is important. And then why Allah said that inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr? We revealed Quran in the night of Qadr because Allah wants to say that how important was this. Because night of Qadr, it is said that according to research that there was the, from the first day of the world it would happen, and that in that night Quran was revealed. So it was in such an important night Quran was revealed. And then Allah wants to say that, oh mankind, to us, mankind, the limit and capacity I'm going to define for your next year is according to how much is your life with Quran. So it means that the criteria to specify the limit for our life is Quran. How much our life is adopted with Quran, that much we get more ability for next year. And it's not going to happen in just one night. It's according, for example, last night of Qadr in month of Ramadan, what happened? The whole year defines what is going for our next, what will be the plan for our next night of Qadr. It's exactly, for example, when you go to university, they give you a plan according to, they say that in this, for example, in 1 year, you have to study these subjects. Then based on how you have done it, if you have passed it, you have failed it, how well you did it, you can achieve more and more. And then they plan for you the next step. Or you can plan according to your achievements, the next steps of your life. Something like that. If just you want to imagine, it's something like that. And then there are, I'm saying that Surah Qadr is one of the most complicated surahs in Quran. So I know lots of questions comes in mind. That, for example, okay, if Allah plans in that night, plans what is going to happen for you and all this. So where is our authority? Is it that is the must? But that is again another subject which is ikhtiyar and jabr, authority and what is must, what it comes to in, and which is again very wide subject to study about it. But I just as according to the just briefly I explain about it, that when Allah plans something, it's not that because we are human beings, we have got authority. Okay, it's not that one set of plans. Imagine, for example, somebody designs a game, a computer game for children to play or for adults to play. He has, in his design, in that when he designed a program, he has designed different options. So based on I'm not good at, I have never played computer games, so I don't know much about it. Just I explained roughly. For example, the designer, when somebody wants to play with that game behind the computer, the designer doesn't know that which option he or she is going to choose. But he knows that the way he has designed, if the person choose, for example, this option, for example, A, the result will be B. And then the next step has been planned as well. What all is what happens is is on the base of their choice. Who is playing, the player choices. Every choice he makes, it plans the next step. So it is like this. So when Allah plans for 1 year, he knows that okay, we have got authority based on our choices. For example, something happens in our daily life, or even as according to Surah Fajr, that every second or every step we take is an examination for us. So based on how we do in our examination and how we act, we get the next step. So when we say Allah has plans in the night of Qadr for 1 year, doesn't mean that it's a must for it. We don't have any authority. No, the main thing is our authority in our life. So it's I hope I've answered if there is any question in your mind about this. And then another point, another question may come in your mind is that, okay, Allah has planned for 1 year in the night of Qadr. Does it mean that nothing will change? No, it doesn't mean that. Again, we have got Qaza and Qadar. When we say Qaza and Qadar Ilahi, Qaza is something which cannot change, but Qadar can change. How? For example, we say that normally in life, we say give sadaqah. It means that you can change what is supposed to happen by sadaqah, by dua. You know, we have got all this, or by the way we act, by our choices. So we can change that as well. And another thing, again, Allah is telling that we have got in different the du'as of Ahlul Bayt, and there's, for example, this night, for example, night of Nimr Shaban, 15th of Shaban is very important. It's like night of Qadr, night of Jum'ah, you know, Thursday nights, which is night of Jum'ah, is very important. It looks like night of Qadr. So all these nights are other opportunities as well for us to change our what Allah has planned and has written for us. For example, something is supposed to happen, but night of Jum'ah, we pray a lot, we ask Allah for example, khair and all. It can change. Good. What I want to say that when we say the night of Qadr, Allah's power implements in the world. Yes, it is the most important night when it will happen. Everything will be planned, but there are these options as well. Okay, any question up to here? And another thing that all these angels, which is not again this is not related to Surah Qaf, but all these angels with these commands of Allah, ruh, they come down, they descend by the permission of Allah, they stay on the earth till according to Surah Ma'arij till the day of Qiyamah, when Allah ordered them to come back all. So all these angels and commands, they go, and Allah is saying in Surah Ma'arij that it's the day takes which lasts for 50,000 years. Just that for all of these they go back, and then day of Qiyamah happens. And when in ayat we say Salamun hiya hatta matla al-fajr, that then this night is all peace until the appearance of dawn, until the sunrise. It doesn't mean that nobody gets ill in that night. It doesn't mean that. It means that all these angels and with Allah's command, which they come down, these are all protected from shayateen. So they are salamun. It's all safe, secure until the morning. And then another thing is that all these angels and commands, when they descend to earth, who they go to as a reference. We say that again in Surah Baqarah, Allah told, إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. I have specified always I've got representative on the earth for myself, which at the moment is our 12th Imam, Imam Zaman Jalallah Ta'ala Farajah Sharif. So all these angels and these commands, it goes to him. So that's why we say how tawassul to Ahlul Bayt is important. That because everything happens through them. It's like, again, I bring an example. By bringing these examples, I don't want to say, Nauzubillah, these are same thing, same. Just as an example, for example, when we want to contact, when we have got something official to do in the country, do we go directly to the president? No, there are dealers between, and it's something like that. So Ahlul Bayt are our wasita, our dealers between us and Allah. So we cannot connect to Allah except through their ways, because it is normal thing that is for everything. If it is like that, even in normal life, it is like that. Just as an example, it comes to your mind. So that's why that we say that our, for example, letters of acts, everything goes to our imam. And every week, for example, we say every Monday it goes to our imams, and imams can see what we have done and all this. So the plan is from Allah. The plans are from Allah through His representative on the earth. And the angels are different. For example, it is said that for it depends on their mission. Maybe one angel is specified for one mission, or thousands of angels are specified for just one mission. Depends on the importance and how mission it is. And that's why in Surah Baqarah we see that Allah is telling that when Allah created mankind, Khalifat Allah, he told angels to do sajda. In fact, when he created the Khalifat Allah, he talks about in Surah Baqarah, Allah talks about him in Surah Baqarah, is Ahlul Bayt, is his representative, is not a normal person. So when Allah asks angels to do sajda in front of him, it means that Allah wanted to tell them that you need to obey him after me, which Iblis didn't accept, and he was out of the group of angels. So that is we want to say that all these angels in the night of Qadr, they come down to Allah's representative, who is Imam Zaman alayhi salam at the moment. And let me see if I've missed any points. So the the night of Qadr, it looks like that Allah gives a whole plan for for 1 year, and then during the year, everything happens, or in our daily life or whatever, we are going through that plan, that we, according to our choices, we choose different routes, and according to every choice, the next choice and the next plan will come forward, because Allah has planned. Like, for example, as an example, we said about computer game. So that is how it is, and it means that the whole year we should watch what we do, and we should be careful. And according to Surah Fajr, we remember that everything happens is an examination for us. So how we do our exams, that can every second of our life during, for example, this year, from night of Qadr of last Ramadan to next Ramadan, it will be a fundamental or base for our next year plan. So it's not just that, for example, we live it for 1 year, and just one night we stay awake and recite dua, recite for until morning, and we think that, oh, Allah is going to plan the best for us. No, it is yes, staying awake in the night of Qadr has been advised through Ahlul Bayt, and it's very important, but it's not just that. Or it's like, for example, you think this way, that a teacher has got different students, and for example, some of the students, they have studied all through the year, and on the day of when they want to get their results, they come to their teacher and they ask for him or her for the best remark and for the best result. And yes, the teacher goes, okay, I can revise what you have, because you studied all through the year. Okay, at last, I can give you some points as well, extra points. But some, for example, some of the students, they haven't studied all through the year, and just on the day of result, they come crying to the teacher, "Oh, please give us the best mark." And what's the logic behind it? Do you think he will give them? No, he says that all through the year you didn't do anything. Now you are asking me. So, night of Qadr and the way Allah plans is, again, this is another example which we can think about it. We can make sense. And again, if for example somebody at night of Qadr fall asleep, oh, Allah is going to give him a terrible plan because he's no, because yes, we try our best all through the year, and we try our best in the night of Qadr to stay awake, and then inshallah Allah plans for us. And when we say قدر فهدى in Surah A'la, والذي قدر فهدى, that when it comes to the night of Qadr, it means that it's so important because according based on what we tried through the whole year, Allah gives us a limit for our ability for next year. What I want to say, this is very important, that how much we have tried through the year before, for example, this year, how much we have tried to live according to Quran. Because Allah is saying, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Quran, in different surahs, and in Surah Alaq, which we studied last week, we saw that Allah has taught us which mankind didn't know by Quran. So how important, we have made in different ayats of Quran, we see how important Quran is as criteria. So how much we tried based on Quran in our life, how much our life is according to what Quran says, then Allah can give us that much limitation for next year. So that's why, for example, that's why we see that, for example, again, as an example, Allah can say that, okay, you have, this is just an example. Okay, you have tried this many hours per week to study Quran this year. So it means that you will have the ability of, for example, if you have studied 2 hours per week this year, so I'll give you for next year 4 hours studying Quran for your next year. And then on the day of Qiyamah, when it comes and we see that how much capacity and ability we had and we didn't use, then that will be that will be a terrible azab for us. That, for example, we see that oh, because we did not try that much, we had capacity and ability. Now, for example, we have gone to paradise, to Jannah, but because it has got different, inshallah, we all go there, and then we see that, oh, it has got different levels. Well, for example, the highest level is level of Ahl al-Bayt, and still, because we, according to how much we tried, we are at the first level. To see how it is, or for example, just as an example, the lecturer was saying, imagine the main lecturer of Tadabbur, once he was giving an example that, imagine that they give you opportunities, or according to the plan of Jannah, they give you opportunities how often you can meet, for example, Hazrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. Then they give appointments to some people, they give appointment once a day, they give appointment and once a week, or some people once a year. Some people live next to Zahra with her, and see how different it is. These are just an example that how much we can try and how much we can adopt our life to with Quran, and how we can get what a high point we get. That is that we set the quality of meeting we can set with our meeting with Allah, which we learn in Surah Inshaqa, Famulaqih, when the day of with everybody. Meet Allah, but the quality of this meeting will be different. Inshallah, Allah gives us tawfiq to use the best our time to learn Quran, do tadabbur in Quran, and take, inshallah, next steps, because time is too short, life is too short, and we can't see, especially in these days, how every day we can hear, oh, somebody passed away, and we can't plan. Nobody knows how long time, how many hours, how many more time hours we have. Inshallah, Allah gives us, all of us, tawfiq to use the best of our life. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Right, Shir?